So since Ramaran Rammer, why do I say that? It's a mix. It's a mix of Tamar Rammer.
That's great, though.
Just Rami and Tamar can't attend, so we'll just reading. And this is a special one because we're ending our year, and I wanna, woohoo! I wanted to talk about just make a little bit of review what happened during the year, and I added some agenda highlights, but basically it's going to be a talk for everyone to share their thoughts, ideas, etc. And what I did, maybe I can share my screen. To start with, I was looking at the different projects that we had and things that happened during January. And I can share this with you in the chat. Let's see if I have chat right here. And I just added like the most significant projects or events that happened during the year, and the ones that are in the aqua greenish color are related to organization or team, and then the purple ones are like project related. So if you remember, well, Lisa and Ernesto, that you were here in January, that our team was a mix of people, designers and developers, and we were working with Oisa and Kate Summerhill, and well, we had another designer, Youngmin, as well.
That's right.
And yeah, and we were, in charge of the website, like to ship it, Confluence. So everything was Google Sheets, and we've started to create documentation. We moved what we had. Can't remember what was the name of
Gitbook.
Gitbook.
Because
yes.
I remember I transferred the information from that. Yeah.
Yes.
I was so happy we got
How
Confluence.
was that this year? Like, what?
I know. I
It
can't
seems like
believe
it was 2 years
either.
ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we didn't have any documentation at all, like some documents in Gitbook, but
yeah, and
so
you have to ask other
that.
departments to send you stuff, and yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
And
that
then
was this year.
Yes. And in the middle of that, we were working with, the virtual stuff, remember the pre-call tech check, which is the initial tech check that when you join an event, it's there. So everything was done by Ernesto and Lisa and stuff. And then in February, we started, like the team scaling plan, and then there was the roadmap, because at that time the product roadmap was unexisting. So it was more chaotic than now, so if you can imagine. And we started working with design system, huge, and then meeting with the Cepeda team. We didn't have a name at that time. Anyways, and projects for virtual private rooms. And then on April, Carly and Rojo joined the team. So we doubled the forces from the design team. We were so excited. And of course, they ramped up immediately. So we were so thankful. And then we started with a new blog, like showing what we were doing to the rest of the company, which was huge because at that time, everyone was kind of silo, and the rest of the company more or less knew about what we were doing, but briefly because we share that in the B-Day meetings. But I think having this blog post, gives us a showcase of our work, and it keeps the communication with the rest of the company. More stuff for virtual, and of course projects like the Church of Jesus Christ were starting, so big projects. And of course, in June, we had the Baby Builders summer program internship, and Amaca came for during the summer. So working with Rojo, Amaca was helping us with, the prototypes or instant styling, so onboarding her as well. And the other projects came, as you can see, the study, the documentation that Rojo started, putting everything together. And then in July, the big event that we acquired Eventus. So whole new stuff. DJ came, Rami joined. So, and this was, I think between June and July, everything was like changing for real. And I started to see everything. Okay, this is getting organized. And then, of course, the rest of the projects for virtual kept going, and the page builder kicked off. The official kickoff in August, Brian joined the team, and more projects related to localization, because at that time more people joined the company. Adriana with accessibility. So all these major projects that started to shape, and that we are part of them, of course. Page Builder UI. And October, Tamer joined the team. Then now the mobile team is assembled with Rami, and then shipping the community app and all that stuff that, of course, as you know, whatever, all the features that the Eventus app had, they had to adapt it to Bevy, which they're still doing. And and what else? And the big launch of the app that was it October? Yeah, October. The conference mobile app launched. And then in December, I just put CSM emails localization, but it's just started. It doesn't have even the kickoff call. But a lot of stuff happened only in this year. So I just wanted to, for us
No
to.
wonder I'm tired.
So
I'd forgotten all the things we did. Yeah.
I
didn't realize it was so different in January. And I know things like feel chaotic very frequently, but I just want to say, like, considering we didn't even have Confluence, you guys did a great job by the time that I joined, because I definitely got the impression that Bevy was 1,000 times more organized than my last employer. So that was a really quick turnaround.
Yeah, and thanks to all of us, like, because each time that create a document something, and organize or propose something, hey, we should do this, like, everything adds up to this overall and this team, which I think next year we're going to crush it. So I wanted to thank you all for your work. And then I did some I didn't finish because I wanted to have some stats. And I checked, I think we have 40 components for the design system. So claps and kudos to
That's
Carly and Ernesto.
It's mostly Carly. It's mostly Carly.
I just want to say huge thanks for it changed my work significantly. So
I feel like I don't even know if people are using it. So that makes me really happy to hear.
Yeah, no, it is like night and day from pre-library to post-library. So I am so grateful.
We outgrew the file, so that's my next project. I have to figure out how to split it up, but I'll talk about that later.
Yeah, and not only, because all that we did this year, I think it's going to pay off more next year when, now they're just starting using the developers with Page Builder, and they're going to be using it with Engine, like new projects, and that's where it like everybody will see, hey, like, oh, this is a design system, that's what it's for. So I think this year we did like the foundation, with the color palette, the spacing system, the layout system, everything that is building the foundation for building products in a scalable way. So again, thank you for your work. And then I did some stats on instant styling, and we still need to figure out, Rojo and Brian, because I was trying to filter in Jira and trying to know, how many new clients we did. And I ended up just counting first what you had written in the blog post, because in Jira, the CS team doesn't have it very well organized, so we can check that later. So I have some missing stuff here for custom pages. I tried, but could not find the right number. We did have 19 prototypes for sales for prospects, so that's a large number. And again, these numbers are super huge, and for the people that are not super aware of what instant styling is, which we can share next year, and the idea is that everybody know more about what other person is doing, other designers doing. It takes a lot of little details, not only to the platform, but no, this is a bug, no, this is broken, we could make this better. So
you also get like 10 rounds of feedback for each one of those, which is usually trying crazy stuff. So that's important.
Yeah. So
It hasn't been too crazy, to be honest. I think the onboarding team has been getting a lot better at pushing back on a lot of the crazy requests, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
For you.
It's not as crazy as it used to be.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, wanted to share all that. And
yeah, Marcella, before you move forward with anything, like you mentioned, I started in July, and a lot of the time that I was during the time that I've been here, it's really been more of an observation period for me, just to kind of see, how the team is working, how the organization works, and what we currently have. And with the current people that we have, very small, very nimble, but we've created a lot, even in the 5 months that I've been here. I mean, going back to January and seeing everything you've done, even, Carly mentioning, I thought that Confluence had been a part of the organization since it started because of how well organized it has been. So it's very very many kudos to the team for being able to adjust so quickly and get everyone aligned on using Confluence and making it a part of the workflow. That's a huge thing on top of the design system and everything else that we've been able to accomplish. But I just wanted to thank each and every one of you for the hard work that you've done. I mean, each one of you have allowed me to kind of sit back because you're just very good at what you do. So I don't have to micromanage, which I was telling a lot of you, I hate to micromanage. I don't have to do that. I trust you all to do the things that you do. You're really good at them. So thank you for making it easy for me to lead and do a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't get to see. And it's probably best because you don't see. But again, just thank you for all the things that you've done so far, and I look forward to seeing what we can do next year. I'm excited for it. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, EJ. So, what a year! Wow, I wasn't expecting to. I honestly thought that feels like Kali, it's been here for a year and a half. Feels like it's been here for a year and a half too, at minimum. I don't know. I feel like January was actually January, but 2 years ago in that chart. It's amazing. I mean, I know we have a lot to do. We have a lot of room to grow. But I mean, I'm proud of us. It's not easy sometimes being a designer at Baby. I would say that it's very challenging sometimes. And to keep yourself positive and to think, and to believe that the things that we're doing are going to be worth something eventually down the line. It's really hard to invest in the future when you're not necessarily seeing the returns right away. And I should think that I've never encountered any resistance on any of you when it comes to trying to improve things or just trying to be better as a team. And that's motivating. Someone that really strives to be better every day, however I can, knowing that I'm not alone. Like we are all going towards the same goal. Feels pretty dope. Like I feel pretty proud of each one of you. Happy to be your teammate. Looking forward to next year. If we did all of this in 1 year, I don't know what we're gonna do next. Like so, just excited to see where we get it. Uh, I think that we're gonna take it far. It's nice to be online and connect to be on a meeting with all of you on Mondays. It's just enjoyable. Thanks for
I agree.
being here.
I just think it's nice to talk to other designers, to be honest. I worked by myself for so long that it's nice to have a team of other designers here and be able to share ideas and get feedback from other professionals as well and everything, as opposed to just non-designers that I was used to dealing with for the most part, which can get pretty frustrating sometimes, but
Yeah, well, it was definitely fun to see the year in recap. Kind of had forgotten about a lot of things. So, and I appreciate what you said too, Ernesto, of just sometimes like, the joint experience, it's still not yet been implemented, even though we all know it needs to be done, things like that. So it does feel like we're laying groundwork for velocity to start. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I'm super grateful. Even like just starting here, a lot of the amount of support that I'm getting, and just that's huge. I think that's uh, it's nice. Throughout these more time, I'll be able to connect with each one of you, so I can learn more about y'all. Um, but yeah, it's huge. It's nice seeing the work and seeing all this. Just like David said or Rocco. It's nice to be able to see other designers and just see how the perspectives and everything, because I'm used to just looking at Reddit and seeing what I can find inspiration. And so it's nice to actually see things like that. So it's cool.
It's not taking the easy way out because really we make it hard on ourselves sometimes. But it's gonna be worth it.
And here's to our team leads and the two team leads that are here. So thank you to both of you. Really appreciate having that, and it's I think it makes a difference. I really do. So thank you.
And speaking of from today, how I envision that we're going to succeed next year is by continuously thinking that we are a team. So, of course, you're an individual, you have skills, blah, 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 right? But it's great that, like, I see that we need to continuously work on communication, awareness of what's everybody doing, even if it's not in detail, but work as a design force, right? And even though if you have your specialties, right, like your interests, Like, we need to think of we. And if you have, you're behind something, like, do not hesitate or reach out. Like, hey, I have this deadline, or whatever, or I don't know how to do this, or questions about the crazy platform that we have. There's no dumb question on the platform at all, because it is a monster. And the idea is that little by little, each one of you will know it all. Like, you'll know that how the platform works, where it needs to be fixed, or but you can't do that from one day to another. So it needs to be little by little, and then the general stuff that touches all the projects, for example, design system, each one of us need to know what is that about, like what page builder is going to do, so that we as a team, whenever you have a new project, you already know, like, this is going to add, I don't know, this new label, but this will touch the style editor, this will touch, so and then you can communicate with the team, and we'll decide what to do with it. So I think that's the way we need to continue and develop working together.
Yeah, I agree. There's some methodologies around that for the next year. It wasn't
doing that now, just because everyone was already kind of emotional on a lot of the things that they were
working on. But yeah, to your point, Marcella, I would love to get other people involved on some of those projects rather than being kind of what they're currently working on, but just to get more exposure and to have more interest and to just kind of flex their muscles on what they can do and be more versatile in the just part within Bevy. So those are things that we can start to work on and slowly massage people in different projects going into next year. So everyone is kind of platform perspective within Bevy. But that's one of the exciting things that we'll have next year to be more intentional about, have some strategy around it. But I'm excited for allowing some other people to touch some other things and seeing how the parts work together. But that's going to be exciting.
Thanks, DJ. And another thing that I'd like to talk about is, okay, with that in mind, and then thinking that we are in different time zones and different countries, and with Rami's team, always think about communication in that sense, in a global sense. When you are setting a meeting, when you are planning anything, having that localization mind. For example, there's going to be some weeks ago, we were talking about having happy hour time for the team, I don't know, each month or quarter or whatever, some relaxed moment where we can talk and share whatever. And then I was looking at the calendar and like, okay, so it's going to be a happy hour for Lisa at, I don't know, 7 a.m. It's like, that's not happy. That's not happy at all. So any ideas that you can have for growing our culture and sharing with everybody, thinking about, how can we find in the middle path So, because it's going to be, I don't know, 7 p.m. for Rami, and if it's a Friday, like, no. And then Tamer doesn't work on Friday, so it has to be on Thursday. But then, so we didn't even send the survey yet. I mean, but it's thinking about, see.
No, I was gonna say, I came up with that goofy idea. It works when everyone is stateside. When you have like these crazy, you know, it's a different ball game you're playing in. One of the reasons why I wanted to do it is because we don't get to meet in person together. It's a lot easier in person to disconnect work and have those opportunities to learn more about each other outside of work. It's hard to do that digitally, especially expand across so many different time zones. If we could do,
I'm glad
someone brought up meet in person. I approached that to
Arlene and Derek,
and
they're both
keen to the idea. He just didn't know how, or she didn't know how. But we're trying to figure out what that could potentially look like for our team, since we're so distributed, different countries, and where would it's let's do it, but where will we actually go? If we bring
We'll go to
you know,
Egypt. We can go there. Yeah.
something brought up then, like, well, why, where we, so yeah, everything is on the table in terms of where, when, and how. But it's on the table, they know. And so I really want us to meet in person, because the in-person leadership meeting that we had in San Francisco was really, really good, just to shake hands and look someone in the eye. You know, like digitally, last for at least me 5 months, a lot of you years. But I really want us to do that if possible. And if not, try to at least do this in person or this digital happy hour. I know it's not going to be happy, to your point, Marcella, for someone, no matter where or what time we do it. But let's be intentional about building the relationships within the team, because that makes us strong, that makes us trust more, and all of the above. And I think once we have that locked in place, you know, everything else is pretty easy. So again, like, it's going to be hard because of just the dynamics of digital and time zones and all that stuff. But whatever it is, if it's once a year and it's a digital thing, it's for an hour, let's engage as much as we can for that 1 hour, and break away from work, and just be there for each other. So again, Marcella didn't send out the invite for that survey because there's still a lot to think about. But you know, I think we'll get there at some point. I just want to make sure, you know, I'm working with Marcel and Rami and everyone just around making sure that we've thought about everything and everyone, to make sure that whatever that event is, it's everyone's input. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share on that. And hopefully we'll come to some common ground and we can do something that's going to be beneficial for everyone.
It's definitely challenging, but to the point of, you know, being 7 a.m. for Lisa, for instance, I think it's just about rotating things. Sometimes you might be up at 7 a.m. for that meeting. Sometimes it might be a good time for you, right? Because yeah, it's really hard to solve the challenges that we have in front of us. But for as much as I would love to meet in person, right? Because I do think that retreats had that thing where they open the opportunities for other types of conversations. And for as much as I want to hug each one of you, I think that there are also other ways that we can keep it moving during the year while we cannot get together. That's a good idea. But the other thing that I want to share is that I didn't have a lot of opportunity to work with Rojo at the beginning when he joined. There was a handoff, and then he was off to the races to do his thing, right? Then we got the opportunity to work together for a week on the Page Builder project, and it was great. And I felt like we learned about each other, and we learned to work together, and we had conversations, you know, more often, and was a good way to get closer during a week. So I feel like that happens in different instances with different people. Like we've been having some conversations with Tamer and Carly about the design system for mobile, right? So I've been like working closer with Hammer in some things. And I should think that sometimes we're so set on our roles, right? And in the things that we need to do, and everyone has the list of responsibilities. But sometimes it's nice to shake it up a little bit and just move people around and allow some pairings that usually wouldn't happen to happen. Because I do feel like, you know, I do get to learn people a lot working with them, even if it's not the intention to get all personal and like I feel like I know a lot of you pretty much personally too, just through the work that we do together, right? And the conversations that we end up having. And when you're having a bad day and you're not afraid to say it, or when you're frustrated with something, right? Like, well, you know what frustrates you, so I know you better now, right? And I do think that sometimes it's not necessarily just a meeting. Sometimes it's just break the structure, like let the pieces move and interact in a different way. And it doesn't have to be all the time. But some projects are like perfect for it. Like if someone has a lot of pressure and someone is a bit freer, right? Well, there you have it. Like those two should be probably collaborating, right? And I just don't want us to keep getting on our own silos, right? Because then you become well isolated. Wow. All right. So, shocking. But yeah, I think that's something to consider too.
Totally.
I agree with that sentiment actually, because for as frustrating and stressful as that page builder project was, to be honest, just because of the nature of the project and how it was handled, those 1-2 weeks that we did that you Ernesto, Carly, and I got to kind of work together a lot closer, where I actually did find them a lot more fun, just because we got to talking about so much more things, and also more than anything, just because I got to learn a lot from you guys as well, especially about Figma, somebody who had never actually used Figma before, and all the little small nuances of Figma. But no, that was I agree with that. You also get to learn a lot of people just by conversing with them and being able to see how they work and working with somebody on something together. So I think that's a real good point.
Yeah, totally. I agree with you, Ernesto Rojo. Yeah, that's the idea and the spirit, collaboration in all aspects, projects, and that's a way to know more about the other person. So
it broadens your sense of ownership, right? It's not like, oh, that's not my problem. No, it's not that sentiment. If you collaborate in different projects and stuff like that, it's like, well, you still have that bit of ownership where it does feel like, yes, it is your project and it is your problem, right? So whatever hardship that Rojo will have to endure with the page builder, I'm not turning my head around and saying, well, tough luck.
There's definitely a lot of pressure off my shoulders, knowing that, like, that I have a bunch of coworkers in our team behind the project. Because if I was siloed on that by myself, like, yeah, that stress level would have been through the roof for sure.
For 3 people.
And now we need to move to the testing phase. So we'll see. That's not going to happen this week, right, Rojo? No,
I don't think so. We have an extra long meeting today, longer than normal, so I don't know what's going to come from that. But
okay.
Last week's meeting, pretty much, like all the engineers were pretty much on the same page of like this absolutely cannot go to any clients or anything today, even if it's like a beta. They're like, it has to be in January at this point. So, and I still haven't seen a full. Yeah, I don't know. I still haven't seen, like, I've seen some of it, but like it's still not, in my opinion, not at a good point where it's testable yet. because there's still just a lot of things missing. So I've just been like kind of like not really saying anything about it because I kind of need it to be a bit more complete before I can actually get feedback on it. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, we'll see. Bueno, I think I covered everything I wanted to talk to you about. So just an open space for reflection. Now, I hope you enjoy these 2 weeks off, like completely disconnect. And it's going to be a good time to, again, to be, how do you say that in English? Reflexive? No, how do you say that when you are, yes?
Reflect.
Reflexive? Okay, thank
To
you.
reflect, right? Or
Yeah.
or reflective. To be reflective, or the verb is reflect.
At this point, we all know what you mean.
We see what you're
That.
saying on your face. Yes,
Yeah,
that.
we totally get it. Gotta say yes.
Yeah, and that's another thing, like languages, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you guys are
Please.
amazing how fluent you are in more than one language. I so wish I had that more.
Yeah.
We can start doing Spanish lessons for everybody as a team building exercise.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Old plan. That's all I have.
No, don't listen to the Uruguayans.
That's good advice.
And then we can find out how different all the Spanish is between these the 3 different Spanish speaking countries that we have also.
Let's try a meeting where you guys speak Spanish, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody, Carly or DJ, do you speak Spanish? No, you guys just
Japanese.
speak really slow.
I speak gibberish, and that's about it.
That's it. Okay, what? That's something.
Gibberish.
Gibberish.
Something.
Yeah.
My daughter's taking Spanish. She's in the 9th grade, so I'm learning from her again because I took it in high school and in college for 2 years. But since I didn't use it in practice, I lost pretty much everything.
Yeah. Maybe
I hung on to zapatos. Zapatos because it's shoes, and then lapis because it's a pen. Shows you where my head was at.
I would love to learn Japanese currently. So
it's really hard.
You have to memorize like hiragana and katakana tables, and those are like 2,000 characters each.
Oh, the hiragana and katakana are 46 each, and then the kanji is over 3,000.
I'm good.
And I did like a big push about 5 years ago to like get to the point where I could write really well, and it worked. And then I was like, yay, I did it. And I stopped studying flashcards every day, and now I can't write at all. I can still read, which is nice, but.
Brian, do you know Japanese at all?
I took some classes in college. I took some Japanese classes because I watch a lot of anime. So
yeah.
I mean, it's useful, and so I do a lot of that.
That's
Why
cool.
can't I hear Brian? Like y'all are nodding y'all's heads, but I don't hear him at all.
Oh, how odd.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
That's
Super
weird.
clear
That's
on my
great.
end. Like, no.
I hear nothing. I'm like, why are they nodding their heads?
And then he has his mask on, so you can't even read his lips or anything.
Well, he doesn't even show up. He's not even showing up on my screen. I see Rojo at the top, Marcella, Carly, Ernesto, and Lisa. I don't even see him.
Well, then he disappeared now from my screen too.
Weird for me. Oh, now he's back.
Now he's back.
Can you hear
I
me?
didn't see him before.
Yep,
Now I
there we
can.
go.
yeah.
Weird.
Oh, no.
Wow.
It happened earlier at the beginning of the meeting for you, Marce, where you couldn't see him.
Oh, that's interesting though. You can hear me. Oh.
Well, I
Now
can.
I can hear
I've
you.
been able
Yeah,
to
we
see
can.
you and hear you all of the time, unless you. It seems like you actually just then signed back on.
Yeah,
I'm
now I can
phasing.
see you and hear you.
Nice. Okay. I'm phasing in and out of reality. It's okay.
Nice. Have y'all
Uh,
seen the video of? It's a YouTube video of the guy who can speak like 50 languages.
wow.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Man, that's crazy.
He would go.
European friends speak 50 languages.
Wow.
I'm so jealous of them.
Speaks 9 languages.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, Ruchi speaks 9 languages. It's insane. It's like 4 languages and 5 dialects.
Oh wow. She speaks
Yeah,
Spanish
like-
very good, like very well.
Very good. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Interesting.
So a
I'm
lot
so
of perspectives, a lot of thinking. Oh, wow. Because I know I think completely different in Spanish, and communicate completely different Spanish than I do in English. Like I'm a completely different person. I don't know why. I'm more
Say
direct in
that-
Spanish.
They say that if you mean to be fluid on a different language, the best thing that you can do is adopt a different personality for it.
Yeah.
Right? Like not having the same personality that you have in your native language. Like it's a different inflection. Like you have to abandon how you speak basically and how you think. So that
And
makes
even
sense.
your body language.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. That makes sense.
I'm failing because I'm like always whoa. So
That knows 9 languages. What language they think in?
Right.
Yeah.
Or sleeping.
A
Yeah.
mix.
Yeah.
Anybody
Yeah.
have
Make
big
a-
Christmas plans?
sorry.
Anybody have any big Christmas plans?
No.
Marce?
I do. I'm traveling.
Where?
Oh, where are you?
Where are you traveling?
Barcelona. So
Ooh,
Ah,
nice.
see.
You didn't get enough of Spain before, huh? When you were
Yeah,
there.
no, I really
months.
like that city.
Don't get stuck again.
No,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, what's happening with Omicron there? I thought it was creating more restrictions
not in Spain for this week.
this week. Yeah. Because I knew someone who was there. I knew someone who was there 2 weeks ago, and they said the restrictions started coming.
Well, we'll see. This Friday, so I'm gonna be out my noon, FYI. So yeah, I'm gonna spend holidays there, and then go back here, come back. So
Exciting.
Sounds really
What
nice.
about
Yeah,
you?
I hope
Oh, and
you
I'll
don't
be
get
out.
stuck.
I'll be out Wednesday because it's my birthday.
Ah,
Oh,
happy
nice.
birthday.
Thanks.
You
Yes,
gonna
it's my
celebrate
personal
it
holiday,
with
so
your-
I always take it off.
Yeah, celebrate it with your wife, with friends.
Wife, my kids will be in school, so we'll go do something. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but
Yeah.
that's the plan. Yeah.
Well, I'm super excited
Enjoy it.
because my kids are coming home from college, and my son is here Wednesday. He had an outbreak of COVID at his college, which I know Marce knows about. I don't know if I mentioned it to anyone else, but
No.
it's climbed up to 51 cases.
Oh my
So-
goodness.
They closed down the campus, but he's there alone because the only ticket, we couldn't change the ticket. So he comes home Wednesday, but in some ways that's fine because he's supposed to be in finals anyway. So that way there's nobody to distract him. And I'm sure there's a few other international students who couldn't come home. So I'm sure he's there with them. But I am super excited to see him. And then my daughter won't come home for a couple weeks yet. She comes home like the day before Christmas. So she's down in California, a college called
Okay.
Claremont McKenna.
Okay. I knew your son he's in Maine, right? Or
Well, East Coast Vermont at Middlebury.
Vermont.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That'll be fun to see your kids.
Yeah.
Has to be super exciting.
Yeah, it is.
I, for one, don't have any plans because I choose with divorced parents, so I don't even know where I'm spending each day. So, I'm one of those. I'll just go where the food is, and let's have a good time.
Nice.
I'm gonna be babysitting my friend's dog. That's about
Oh,
it.
sí.
So I'll at least have some company. Huh?
Now that you said dog, like, do you guys do fireworks on the holidays there on the 24th on the
On New Year's they probably will. That's when you see them.
Because in here it's crazy, like people still burning a bunch of money in the sky every time.
Oh yeah. And then of course Independence Day here is just like completely crazy. A bunch of dogs run away on that night from people who don't secure their poor pets. But
So bad.
You.
I don't know yet. I would like to spend Christmas with my grandmother because she's getting quite old, but there's contention with the rest of my family because I've been staying with my parents since I got back from Seattle, and my nephew is immunocompromised, so like they want to spend time with my sister, who we just saw at Thanksgiving, and I would like to spend time with my grandmother, but like some of my cousins who they don't trust, like COVID wise, will be there. So we're arguing about who should do what at the moment. And I
Gotta
don't
love
know.
family.
Yeah.
Listen, if I could spend Christmas with my grandma, which I can't, I would do it. Take that as whatever it is for you. But
Yeah,
those moments are important, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
totally.
So we'll see.
Team last minute.
Exactly. I don't have to go too far either way. So
Awesome.
For
Well, I
me,
know. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
sorry. Yeah, sorry. For me, it's kind of the same thing. Just my family. I don't know. I don't know if it's just a lot of Mexicans just like parties a lot, and just like, and some of my family doesn't believe in it. They don't believe in the whole thing, and I try to stay away from them because they're a bit crazy. So yeah, it's all a mess. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna stay home. I'm gonna see if I can help my mom just cook some things up, and just go there. And if people comes, then get some hands sanitizer. And so yeah, my family knows I'm pretty direct with that because you got to sometimes.
Yeah.
With family.
how many tamales have you eaten yet?
Oh man, I eat I got different kinds, and so there's all the chocolate ones, the strawberry kinds. There's so many different kinds. Oh my god! Okay, so I want to make different types. So yeah, I'm get excited. Hopefully not burnt, because the last time I made was burnt, but this one hopefully it won't be burnt. Oh yeah, they're so good.
Well, I know we're over time, and this is Marcella's meeting, but I want to be respectful of everyone's time. And before we leave, just wish everyone happy holidays, safe travels, and this is the last week or virtually in the office, but finish out the year strong, and be with your families, and disconnect from work, and then recharge and come back next year stronger. So I want to again thank everyone for contributing to the team and welcoming me, and just making it a lot easier for me to come in and do what I needed to do. But again, thank you everyone. Have a great holidays. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year. Some of you I'll talk to before then, but yeah.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy
and
holidays.
happy birthday, DJ.
Happy holidays. Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy birthday and happy holidays.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.